In Rivers State, the political crisis has entered a new phase as lawmakers pressing ahead with impeachment proceedings against the governor and his deputy insist the process is unavoidable, citing allegations of gross misconduct. Yet, the move faces a significant legal hurdle as the State High Court has stepped in with orders aimed at restraining the Assembly from proceeding. This clash between legislative intent and judicial authority raises fundamental questions about the balance of power, the resilience of Nigeria's constitutional framework, and the cost of prolonged political feuds. Tonight, we examine impeachment versus the rule of law and what the unfolding events mean for governance and sustainability in the state. Well, joining me to discuss this is, of course, Olalekan Anjolaya is a political scientist and public affairs analyst. He joins me here in the studio. It's great to have you, Olalekan.
Thank you for having me again, Dapo.
All right. It's always a pleasure having conversations with you on the program. Let's get straight to it with, of course, all we are seeing in Rivers State. Before we get into all of the legal crossfire, because last week when this whole thing, was happened fresh, we had a deep dive into possible legal consequences and how this could eventually pan out politically. But for you, what we are seeing between the new developments we're seeing between Governor Fubara and the FCT minister, post the lifting, of the suspension of the governor and post the state of emergency in the state, are you surprised?
No surprises at all. Good evening, viewers. The issue in Rivers State is not a religious issue. It's not an ethnic issue. It's a political issue. And in politics, of course, who gets what is the struggle, right? What we're witnessing in Rivers State is the struggle between the godfather and his godson, right? And the short-lived intervention of the president, of course, here we are. But something has changed. The last time the president, intervened in this issue, Governor Siminalayi Fubara was a PDP governor. Today, Governor Siminalayi Fubara is an APC governor, right? So Nigerians are watching, are looking to see the position that the president is going to take, Fortunately, the president came into the country yesterday. We're expecting him to wade in as a father and, of course, help resolve the Rivers issue, because the River issue is fully political. It's not, personally, I think that it's not about...
You said we're expecting the president to come wade in as, and help resolve the issue. But the president has done that in the past. Yeah, and... we are where we are. Yeah, does this not appear like something beyond what Mr. President can resolve?
There is a dynamics, yeah.
Oh, so what's okay?
Just like I said, that this is politics, yeah.
Okay.
The governor today is an APC governor. The godfather today is a PDP man.
Who works for an APC government?
Well,
and who is in the good books, at least supposedly good books of the president?
We are all looking to see who the president will intend to sacrifice. Will the president sacrifice a sitting governor that is an APC governor, right? And you see, the politics of this thing is very obvious.
Who do you think the president will sacrifice?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I don't have a guess on this.
You see...
all might sacrifice. Let me use the word might.
It's at the discretion of the president.
Just from political permutation.
The reason why I cannot, read the mind of the president is that, the president is a master political chess player, right? I think that, it's about time we cut the excesses of Wike, because today Wike is fighting Fubara.
But he's also some will say he's a performing minister. One of the most performing ministers, somebody who did his best to ensure that the president had victory in Rivers State. And some would also say he has very strong grassroots relevance.
Well, the question is that, is Wike as strong as he was in 2023? The answer is no.
Really?
The answer is no.
Why do you say that?
Where is G5 now?
Okay.
Where is G5?
No, you mean nationally within the PDP or in Rivers State?
Well, I'm talking nationally right now.
Okay, okay.
Because Wike is not here, not there. It's a situation where, in quote and unquote, a dog is trying to secure 2 compounds, right? I mean, it's impossible, right? So Wike has caught himself in trying to play the dirty game. And there are bruises now, there are consequences now, right? And in all of these things, if you look at his interview, you are able to tell who the victim is. Today, the victim is not even the governor of Rivers State. The victim is Nyesom Wike. Yes, that he's feeling the brunt, right? Because the governor has gone to Bola Tinubu. The governor is now an APC governor, right? And the governor, if you look at it, the governor has the support of the leaders of APC. Recently, you can see that the big boys of APC visited him, Malam Nuru Ribadu, and a number of ministers, a number of senators, a number of APC bigwigs. The secretary of the party has also shown words in support of Siminalayi.
Even though some people have raised speculation that it was largely a financial visit.
You see, Rivers State is a very important state, right? Wike is no longer governor. He was governor some time ago, right? And you see, a lot of things has evolved, right? I understand that, Wike is strong, but Wike do not have a party as we speak. And the game
he still maintains he's a member of the People's Democratic
Party. The game
Party
that brought him into that ministerial position, that game is over. Today, in Ekiti, PDP was not recognized on the list of, INEC, the INEC list of aspirants for the Ekiti State governorship election, right? As of today, if we are going to run for election, Amukpito has said that, pending the court suits in the PDP, is not going to flag the PDP on the ballot. Where is Nyesom Wike today, right? Now, the big question, Dapo, what is the offense of the deputy governor of Rivers State?
They are both on the same team.
No. What is the offense? The deputy governor is going to be impeached. The House of Assembly
maybe by extension.
You see, the deputy governor, so just so you know it's political, the deputy governor is only playing roles assigned by the governor. The deputy governor is not seen, right? So you want to remove, we are waiting to see how that plays out. You want to remove the deputy and the governor. And the Speaker of the Assembly will be the governor. The interesting time lies ahead, Dapo.
Okay, you said quite a couple of things, but let's go on our very first break. When we return, I'll be bringing into the conversation Maboye Nangeobo is the Secretary General of the Joy Youth Council Worldwide. He, of course, will be joining the conversation once we return. Stay with us, we'll be right back. You're still watching Politics HQ on News Central Television, and of course we're looking at the politics in Rivers State and all of the crisis that is happening within that scape. And I still have my guest with me in the studio at this time. Olaleko Anjolaya is a political scientist and public affairs analyst. Is with me live in the studio. Thank you for staying with me. All right, so before we went on that break, for you feel that time seems to be ticking off the Minister of the FCT, that's His Excellency Nyesom Wike, and that's why he seems to be fighting all out to ensure that he stays politically relevant. But I would also like to ask you, looking at Rivers as a whole, the people, its political history, right, and what we are seeing now, would you say that this or what is happening now, are there similarities, or is what is happening now entirely different from what, in the history of Rivers politics they've ever seen?
Yeah, from what I know about Rivers politics, right, I do not think that, Godfatherism has been the thing in Rivers State. There was Peter Odili before Nyesom Wike. Where is Peter Odili today? Right? And you see, the Wike that is trying to control everything, you understand? When it was his turn, He was governor. Nobody dictated to him that this is what you can do, this is what you cannot do. Yes, sir. The information available to us is that the governor of Rivers State have not been able to be a governor because he cannot make decisions without seeking the approval of the minister of the FCT.
But there are also some people who have the opinion that the current governor is weak politically. He doesn't have the willpower, to be a politician that is thorough. Yes, he keeps talking about peace, but some see it as a sign of weakness.
Well, it depends on what you call weakness. We have seen people come from the private sector into politics. Governor Seyi Makinde came completely from he has never been local government chairman. He has never been anything. You understand? I know that Siminalayi Fubara was one time accountant general of Rivers State, right? So it depends on what you call weak. The governor of Rivers State is a gentleman. That is his own personality trait. And I do not think that being a gentleman does mean that you are stupid. If you look at, we have not given Fubara the opportunity that he deserves. He has not really been a governor. He has not been able to concentrate on governance. The entire 4 years have been distracted. The time that the retired naval man that Bola Tinubu, used as interim, administrator was there. So Rivers, my sympathy goes to the state because the state has not witnessed governance since, this political imbroglio, right? So I think that if the president wants to be fair, if the president has the best interest of Rivers people at heart, it's about time they tell Wike to take the back seat and let the governor be a governor.
You seem to be very optimistic that at the end of all of this, the governor will still remain, while the FCT minister, would be, according to you, be made to take the back seat. But let's also look at the State House. The State House, a large portion of its members, who are, virtually all of them are pushing for the impeachment, are loyal to the FCT minister. And, if one is to look at all of this constitutionally, right, the State House actually has the right to, which they've started already, move the motion for impeachment, even though there are court crossfires, court ruling crossfires here and there, are trying to sort of stall the entire process. I'd like you to speak on the role of the State House in all of this and how this can impact on Governor Fubara's time as governor. At least he still said recently that he's still the governor at a public event. And when he came back, he kept talking about protection. So looking at the role of the State House here, what's Governor Fubara's fate?
Well, before I examine the role of the legislators, I want us to examine the role of the political party. Right? The question is, the Rivers State House of Assembly, the 27 members, are members of which political party? Right? Now, if they are members of APC, APC should have its own internal conflict management strategy around, because the party nominated them. Even though they are new members of the party, but the party is supposed to be supreme, right? Something similar was going to happen in Lagos when, the speaker was, thrown out, right? The big question is, how were they able to resolve it? With the understanding I have of the APC is that they have a system that listens to their leadership. So whatever,
even though the FCT minister said, leave Rivers politics, for the people of Rivers State, let it be run by the way they know how to do it. But I put that largely loosely, but I'd like to bring Maoboye Nangiobo, the Secretary General of the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide, to join this conversation right now. It's great to finally have you on. We've been trying to connect. Let me start by asking your take on the recent developments in the state. I know that we've discussed this matter countless times on this program. So with the rulings that we are seeing right now from the courts, what's your take?
Oh, okay. So good evening, Dapo, and good evening, viewers. Good evening, our guest there, my fellow guest. Sorry for the delay in trying to get connected to this, but that's right. Dapo, you know me. I've been, and I'm still a supporter of the governor of the state, but the truth is this. There are certain cliche or banality or hackneyed phrase that I wouldn't want to get myself involved in. And I think we should not mislead the public. Now, first of all, I'm very much concerned with what would happen should this impeachment happen, see the light of the day in the state. People will start dying. There's a playbook for reverse politics, and which was started in 2002 and 2003. I'm not going to mention, but people were kidnapped, people were killed, people were raped, people were just, maimed. A lot of people died because some person said no to a particular person, and the person said no, I must come back, and groups were formed, and amnesty, and whatever militancy. That was one of the reasons why a whole lot of guns were in the state. Now we're getting to that era back again, and I'm concerned with. I don't have security, but the governor, I've got all the securities he would need, and likewise the FCT minister and his goons, So, but now, what's the real thing that's going on? The assembly, are they right for doing what they are doing? Constitutionally, they have all the constitutional rights to do whatever they want to do because, Section 188, are just giving them all the powers to do whatever they want to do, more especially subsection 11, part B of that subsection 11, where the Constitution, I wouldn't say erroneously, but defined and said the House of Assembly, their liberty to define whatever gross misconduct is. Now, I have a concern, and I'm worried with my governor, and that's why, sometimes when I talk, some people will say, oh, are you trying to leave the governor? No, I'm not. But the point is this, if you don't want to fight, don't start up the fight, don't complain. But if you want to fight, let's go out there and fight. This war, these political wars are not a hide and seek kind of game, where you come, you talk today, and tomorrow you say another thing and all of that. Now, why am I saying this? The first step was that the assembly met and said they want to impeach the governor. That opening gave, that time, the first impeachment notice that was served on the governor gave the opening for political solution. But it's a shame that the governor left whatever party he was in, whether PDP or any other party that he was in, to APC, and came to Rivers State and told Rivers people and the world that he went to APC because of protection first. Secondly, it's a big shame that the governor's new party and his party members are the people calling for his sack and wants to impeach him. Thirdly, this same governor's new party member wants to take out the governor and the deputy governor because the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly wants to become governor or acting governor for 3 months through the back door. But that's politics. And, the Nigerian Constitution have allowed or given that lacuna for the young man to do whatever, and he's making use of the law. But why didn't the governor wade in? Now, let me tell you the playbook President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is using in Rivers politics. He has given 2 different KPIs to the governor and the FCT minister. The FCT minister, do whatever you like. The governor, don't react. So that at the end of the day, because if the governor is always listening to the president and the president is having the governor's interest, there's nothing wrong that when the impeachment notice first was served on the governor about 2 weeks ago or more, that, that would have been the opportunity for the president to have called, his employee, which is the FCT minister, to talk to his voice, which I call the renegade assembly. But the president didn't do that. The governor flew to France or wherever the president was at that time to look for the president to now tell the president that, oh, they want to impeach me, and the president would have told him, no, don't react. But the FCT minister went about, because we may not like Wike, but the point is this man, for 17 days, was consistent saying one thing: agreement is agreement. As a supporter of the governor has yet to come out to tell us if there was an agreement or if there wasn't any agreement. Now, how do I defend the governor on the agreement part? I wouldn't tell. Now, they said gross misconduct. I would not fight the assembly because they've acted within the principle, within the purview of the law, within what the Constitution has said that they can do. They have acted right. Now, they've transmitted the letter to the chief judge. All we could see was that the governor ran to Oyibo to procure or get, ex parte motion. Ex parte motion is not a perpetual motion. It's something that would live for maybe 7 days. You can renew it for another 7 days, depending maybe for it's just to buy time, and it's little time you can buy. So why bring up all these strategies? For me, these strategies are not good enough for the governor, and the governor has yet to also own up, man up, fess up to show that he's ready for this war. So if you're not ready, then let's all go back and beg Wike and tell Wike, please, we're sorry for offending you. But if that is not what it is, I am not saying Wike is right. I am not saying whatever agreement that you have reached with Wike, if it wasn't good enough for Rivers people that you should obey it. But in the first instance, why would you agree if there was an agreement and if you know that the agreement was not good enough? And why are you not keeping it if there was an agreement? Why would you want to go against the agreement? So why do we want war? So if you expect Ijaw youths to come all out and begin to take to the streets, no, this is not about sentiment. It's about doing right. And it's politics. And politics is not served a la carte, like people would always say. You struggle to get what you want to get. Being governor of Rivers State, Tinubu wants to harvest the votes from the governor and also retain the votes that he will get from the FCT minister. So he's deceiving the both of them. He is the agent provocateur in this very issue. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I sent a letter, a very long letter to the governor of Rivers State. I am waiting for any reaction. I will know when he reacts to it. You understand? And I've, allayed all of these things and I've expressed them that this is the way my mind works. And I think the governor is not doing right or he's not even helping himself. Now, in the event that the chief judge is to nominate names, let me also ask you, Dakpo, ask the governor of Rivers State who nominated the chief judge. It was the former governor, the FCT minister today, was the one who nominated the chief judge. He was working for him as chief judge, and the governor inherited him. Now, I am not saying... Hello?
1 second. Because we really need to wrap up this first half of the program to move to the second topic. Before I let you go, how do you see, in 30 seconds, please, who do you think will laugh last at the end of this? The governor or the FCT minister?
Well, I wouldn't, with the way the governor, the stratagem that the governor is deploying, I think the governor will be the greatest loser, but it's not to say he will be impeached. What Tinubu wants to achieve is when the governor is on his knees, then Tinubu, first of all, Tinubu lied to the governor that the state of emergency was in his own interest, and the governor believed that dumb idea.
All right.
Now, the second thing
that's all I just needed to hear, my boy. Thank you. Thank you.
Now goes about that you are seeing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Of course, it's been a pleasure having this conversation with you. Maboye Nangeobo, Secretary General, the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide, joining virtually from Abuja. Olaliko Anjolaya, political scientist and also a public affairs analyst. Gentlemen, I'd like to say a big thank you for your time on the program.